All right, what's up, guys? This is Ken with Picking Duck, and today or yesterday, actually, if you didn't see the game, yesterday was Game One of the NBA Finals, and there happened to be something that I'm gonna be talking about today. It's called reverse line movement. If you don't know anything about it, you've probably been a victim of it, and maybe you were a victim of it last night. And if you did watch the game, and if you did bet it, um, you'd know that Toronto won that game, and the Warriors were actually underdogs in that game. Now, let me tell you a bit more of what reverse line movement is. And if you've never seen it, I'm going to share with you my screen so that you can get some understanding of how it works. So you'll see here that the Raptors opened up at a +1 and the Warriors opened up at a -1 on their spreads. If you were if you were looking at the games, at the spreads before the game, it flipped, right? It became Toronto -1 and Golden State Warriors at +1. But the close of the game, you can see that here -1 and +1. But at the close of the game, it went to -2 and +2. So even more, they gave more points to the Warriors. But if you take a look here, 55% of the wagers were actually on the Warriors. 45% of the wagers were on Toronto. But so what does this all mean? If you looked at that Warriors spread, like, oh wow, they're an underdog and they're giving me 2 points for the Warriors, this is easy money. It went from -1 to +2 or even to +1. The majority of people betting on the game are gonna say, "Oh, this is easy money," right? And the majority of the bettors on these games is actually the betting public, and sports books are set up to take money of the public and what they call squares, and they also batch the public into a group of losers. And that's why sportsbooks can keep their doors open. That's why they make so much money, right? Because they make money off of the public. But there's the other side of that, which is they call them the sharps, the ones who are actually beating them consistently. And those are the guys that they watch out for. And usually these sharps are the ones that are going to be throwing down a lot of money. And that may have been the case in this Toronto versus the Warriors. So what's the goal of a sports book? The goal of a sports book regarding bets is actually to have even money spread amongst the two teams. And why is that? That's because they just want to make the money off of the juice or the vig. And if you have 50% of the wagers on one side, 50% of the wagers on the other side, all they do is they pay each other out for the win or the loss, and they make money off that juice, and that they're happy with that, right? Because they're not the ones losing. They're just transferring the money between each winning party or losing party. But in this case, what they were doing here was they were actually, even though they had 55% of the wagers, and actually it was 74% during the build up to the game, 74% of the wagers were actually on the Warriors. So that was the build up to the game. So there was a lot of people on the Warriors, and they even made it better. Now that's called reverse line movement. They're moving the line into the favor of the heavily public's bet, right? So that 74%, they're trying to actually increase that amount of wagers on there, and that's because so that movement, you would assume that they would want less wagers on that, so that they would flip that +1 +2 to +1 to 0, because they're already at 74% of the wagers on there. that's normal line movement, right? But in this case, when they're continually trying to get money on that side, there's two things that could have happened. There's a lot of money that's being thrown down on Toronto, or there's these sharps that they know are betting on Toronto, and they need to get they need to make that up by getting people to bet on the other side, and that was the case last night. Now, just because there's reverse line movement does not guarantee a win. So don't automatically expect that reverse line movement means you're going to win. It's just a tool that keeps you aware of what is going on, because sports betting is not just about which team you think is going to win, which team you think is going to cover. Because if that was the case, then the public would be winning, because the public usually likes the favorite or likes the most popular team. And last night that was the Warriors, but that wasn't the case. They lost the game, and this was a pure example of reverse line movement. Now, this is just a tool. Like I said, in gambling, there's never any real guarantees unless you're not playing, right? So this is something that we just wanted to share with you guys, and we're going to be sharing more tips. So keep following us. We also throw this on our YouTube channel now, so we'll be coming out with more tips. So keep in touch, guys. Thank you.